We're going. Okay. One sip of water. And we're on our way. Alrighty, everybody. Sorry, a couple minutes late. Just got finished mowing the lawn. Finished taking a shower. Now I'm ready to be presentable for all of you. Lahaina is burning down quite quickly, in fact. I don't know if you saw any of the videos or pictures, but it happened in a hurry. 80-mile-an-hour winds coupled with a raging fire and a lack of rain that they've been having. Yeah, so 6 dead so far in the wildfires that wiped out Lahaina. Yeah, I mean it is gone. Much of it, at least. There's lots of people from Hawaii who watch. I know Oahu and the Big Island. I don't know if anyone. Well, Maui Sam is usually watching. So Maui Sam, hope you're doing okay, and that your home and friends and loved ones aren't anywhere near Lahaina. It is bad. I don't know if you guys have seen pictures, but come on, make it so I can show pictures. Yeah. So, seriously, downtown Lahaina, burning. This is a quaint little old, originally was a whaling town, and then became sort of a fishing town and a port for all sorts of stuff on the island, sugarcane, you name it. Classic old buildings, and it's gone. It just burned. Yeah. So there's quite a few little fires burning. They usually happen kind of up country in the dry areas like North Kohala and here on the Big Island. But the number of fires on Maui right now are freakish. The island's got skirted by a hurricane, which brought up 80-mile-an-hour winds and didn't bring the rain with it, and just yeah, just bonkers. So this is showing the trade winds. Right? Trade winds come along. A lot of these are bands, I think, from the hurricane that skirted. And it'll cause rain on these windward sides, but then it evaporates super dry on the leeward side. And you can see the smoke starting to billow out from the island here. Shoom. So, oof. There's grass fires up country. And here's the hurricane passed down to the south, and those big bands of rain were arms from it. But goodness gracious, everyone in Maui, I hope you're doing all right. Sounds like a Charity Tuesday candidate for sure. So let us know you're doing okay, Maui Sam. And yeah. Oh, Lugs is in Maui. Yeah. Whew. Well, there's the intro. I guess that will do the intro. I forgot to turn it off, so that's the first one is the accidental one. But now I'm going to turn it off. Okay. What else is in the news? It sounds like grand juries in Georgia on state charges for election interference sound like they might be issuing decisions in the not distant future. I don't know if you guys know much about RICO, but there's federal RICO laws, there's state RICO laws, and the ones in Georgia are very powerful. So if you are convicted or charged in a conspiracy, you can be attached to anything someone in your conspiracy has said. So this means any of the batshit stuff that Rudy Giuliani has said is now as good as you saying it. If you're charged in that conspiracy under state RICO. So, not good. Remember, if you're convicted in state courts, the president cannot pardon you. Only the governor can. So, and it sounds like, I don't know, the powers that be in Georgia, while being Republican, don't really like the guy that much. So, Not sure how much pardoning would happen there. So they'll make 2 state courts charging Trump for things. New York's already charged him for money laundering, campaign finance, fraud, things like that related to Stormy Daniels. And then we got Florida and New York on the documents in New York. No, sorry, not New York. Washington, D.C. on January 6th. So, would not want to be getting upwards of 10, 20, 30 more charges tacked on. Just spending the rest of your life going from court to court to court to court only to get convicted. And bummer. Okay. Anything else, Monkey? I totally did not. I have not even looked at the market today. So, what's happening? What is happening? Well, that went up, and then it went back down again. Oh, so close. Okay. So, what's up? That's down. Fingers right back down to where I bought in. Damn, I should have sold. Oh, well. C'est la vie. I'm handing myself back to where I was. Patchy Football Films, Houston. How much e-waste does it take to make an ounce of gold from the depopulation of motherboards made from 2004 to 2010? There is gold plating on those boards, not as much as 1990s and before. It takes a lot to get stuff from the last 23 years. It's about 2000. The last real good chips to have gold in them were Pentium Pros, which were mid to late 90s. The modern stuff, they really figured out how to be as minimal as possible with gold in their circuitry, especially as gold prices got higher and higher. So, who's messaging me? Why are people messaging me? Oh no, it's just spam. Okay. But yeah, I mean, if you have a lot of them, and you got a big industrial process, you can get enough gold and silver out of them. But if you're just doing like small time stuff in your garage, it's gonna take a lot. Stephanie L, I'm not sure you answered this already, but what are some interesting domain names with superconductors in it that may be in demand? I purchased Superconductor Energy Labs already. Ooh, that's a good idea. RT superconductor, room temp superconduct. I think it's every combo you could possibly think of with superconductor, room temperature, lab, research, etc. Just be that domain troll and get them to and get all abbreviations for them, like RTS, room temperature superconductors, RTSL, room temperature superconductors lab, all that stuff. But excellent idea. Jason Blackwell, hey, Houston superconductor got cut off by the bartender. He left the bar without resistance. Topical, I'll give you that. B2B brand, half pound of gold and 1 ton of modern motherboard scrap. So 1/44,000th of a pound of gold per PCB, 0.004 ounces per pound of PCB. That's not that much. Like if you look at older chips, like say Pentium Pros, we'll show what they look like here. So these guys, if you see chips like this, these old Pentium Pros, they have about 1/3 of a gram of gold in them. So 1/3 of a gram, and it takes about 35 grams to make a troy ounce. So if you have 100, you have an ounce of gold. An ounce of gold is $2,000. So 100 of these, if you're just buying one at a time, it's going to cost you $5,000. You're not going to make any money off it. You want to buy them in bulk. You want to get them in bulk, and a gram of gold is like $60. So about $20 in gold in each one of these things. So if you can get them for below 20 bucks, and all of your acids and grinders and everything else you're going to use to smush these things up costs you less than $20 total to process one chip, you're good. So ideally, you wouldn't be buying these things at $100 or $50. You want to buy them probably around $5 to $10 a chip in bulk to be able to get money out of them. And the motherboard's a 0.004. That is, how many? I gotta do some math here. Calculator. So, oh, sorry, I can't do. Right, 0.004 times 35. So that's 0.14 grams. So about 1/7 of a gram of gold in every motherboard. So 1/7 of a gram. Looking, you got about $8 in gold per motherboard. So you're gonna want to buy those things at probably half that price at least. So maybe $4 a motherboard. And you got to go to the processing, got to grind it all up, deplate them, things like that. So, yeah, somewhere around there. Apache Football Films Houston. I came across around 50 hard drives from 2008, 2015. What are the odds of finding a crypto wallet someone set up and forgot about, and then being able to access the wallet? Not high. For a couple of reasons. One, not many people were using crypto, and only 40 million people worldwide out of the 8 billion have ever even dabbled in crypto. It was even less then. So the odds are not very high. But, you know, if you got nothing else to do, might as well look, right? So, yeah, see it as a hobby. Scott Pollen, ciao Houston, checking in from Ibiza. The club tonight is called Namaste, and the next is called Amnesia. Namaste. You can't leave Namaste because, nah, Namaste. Tristan Cates, Houston. I FOMO'd into AMC 2 weeks ago at $5.45. Is this a dud stock? Lol. I would have FOMO'd into Ape. Mainly because if the reverse split were to happen today, Ape becomes AMC, it's worth $5-ish a share, and then each 10 of those becomes $50. So for like what, $14, you could have $50-ish in AMC in the end, if that reverse split and everything else happens, blah 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 blah. And yeah, so I personally, if I were still buying that stuff, I would buy Ape rather than AMC. But then again, you could buy all the apes, and then the court says, no, you can never do this stuff. It's all illegal and weird and shady. And then you're still up holding the bag. So, Just Miami, hola Houston, called Fidelity today, and now they're telling me 4 to 6 weeks for next bridge certificates. Shake my head. Yeah. I think it's going to take everybody a long time. It's interesting. After people were asking Webull, hey, you want to transfer? Now Webull is giving everybody an ultimatum that they have to transfer. Interactive Brokers is doing the same thing. Interactive Brokers is telling their holders they have to opt out of transferring. Basically, they want to get all of this off of their system and into AST so it doesn't become a problem for them. Because if you don't call them and opt out and say, no, I want to keep my shares in your platform, they will automatically transfer them to AST for you. And it sounds like Webull is trying to do the same thing. It looks to me like the brokers are realizing what's being set up by the NextBridge board, and then it's not good for them. And so if they can get you out, they will gladly get you out now. So it's it's not looking good. Not looking good at all. For brokers, at least. Jason Blackwell, Houston, have you read through the latest NextBridge PR about McCabe buying debt from Meta? I have not. 2 hours ago. Nexbridge Hydrocarbons Incorporated announces debt to Metamaterials Incorporated has been purchased by Gregory McCabe. Okay. Private oil and gas exploration production company with interests in Texas and Oklahoma announced today that Gregory McCabe and Metamaterials Incorporated entered into a loan sale agreement whereby Mr. McCabe purchased from Meta the 8% secured promissory note dated September 30th, 2021, originally issued by the company in favor of Meta, 2021 note, and certain loans made to the company by Meta pursuant to the loan agreement dated September 2nd, 2022, between Meta and the company, the loan agreement, and together with 2021 note, the loan documents. The company consented to the purchase by Mr. McCabe of the 2021 note and the loans under the loan agreement. As a result, the loan purchase, Mr. McCabe placed Meta as the lender and secured party under the loan documents. Additionally, as part of the loan purchase, Meta assigned to Mr. McCabe its lien on 25% of the Oro Grande prospect. The company's obligations and responsibilities under the loan documents remain unchanged. Mr. McCabe is the company's largest shareholder and chairman of the board of directors. Mr. McCabe also holds a 5% unsecured note for a principal amount of up to $20 million issued by the company. As the company's chairman of the board, Mr. McCabe had this to say regarding the loan purchase. The company's management team has been working hard to find financing solutions for the short-term and long-term capital needs of Nexbridge. I was pleased to be able to purchase the debt of Nexbridge from Metamaterials. I believe in this management team and the long-term upside of the company and its assets. Chief Executive Officer Clinton DuBose addressed the loan purchase, Mr. McCabe. We are pleased to have our chairman and largest stockholder assume all the material indebtedness for Nexbridge. This is a great development for our company and further enhances our capacity and flexibility to source capital in the future that will continue to strengthen near-term opportunities and long-term outlook for our company and shareholders. Okay, interesting. Sounds like somebody is either A, confident in the company, or B, setting up to take over everything. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. First name, last name, Houston. Is Acme parent company going to do a share buyback? It's not looking good for them recently. Cannot answer that. All I will say is if you make products, you need people who will sell those products. So get some people to sell those products. First name, last name, Houston. Did you read about the guy who found Civil War era gold? Yeah, the one in Kentucky. Millions. Absolute dream find. More power to people who find stuff like that. I am always in awe. So, way to go, dude. Copy and paste from William Morgan. August 9th, 2023, Nexbridge Hydrocarbons announces debt to Metamaterials has been purchased by Gregory McCabe. Got that. First name, last name, Houston. Have you ever grown your hair really long, surfer style? If so, pics. I've had it long. Let's see, I might have an old... Here's my old... in this pile. Let's see here. Well, maybe... Looking for my old Costco card. Had long hair, Houston. Nope, not in there. Not that one either. Not that one. There it is. Well, not the best picture. Oh, there's Houston with long hair. That's probably like 2005. Last time I had it pretty long was 2018. I had it down to my shoulder a couple of times, but now that the skin horns are growing long, it just looks sad. So I don't really grow my hair out long anymore. It's the price you pay for, being as handsome as I was for so long. I'm in my 40s, so that's my only excuse. Derek Horst, Houston. I got IQ, No Labs, and Metamaterials. Is there any other outsized potentials I should be looking at? Those are the ones. That and GMGF, Graphene Manufacturing Group out of Australia. They're the graphene battery guys. Those are my long plays. I'm sure there'll be somebody they'll pop up. There'll be a room temperature superconductor company that will make me go, ooh. But I've not seen anyone quite at the forefront yet there for me to throw money at. First name, last name. Last time most people other than Houston end up with Clove and AMC. Clove. Chris Taylor, Houston, any thoughts on your next fundraiser? Maybe a little help displace people, Pets Maui, something like that. That's what I'm thinking. Probably do a Maui related one for this month. And I'll have maybe 8 codes that I can give out for people for Blue Sky as raffles. And if you have codes yourself for Blue Sky and you want to donate them to be raffled off for charity, then by all means send them my way. I'll gladly take them. And we'll see how much money we can raise. Trey Spider, what's the latest with Rosa's lawsuit? Do you know if she transferred? I have no idea if she transferred. When I spoke to her last, or texted with her last, she was talking about filing for an appeal. I think she has 30 days from the decision to file for appeal. At least it's way in state court. So she'll likely we'll probably be seeing that towards the end of the month, I guess. That's about when we got the original decision in July. So no, I'll reach out to her and see what her thoughts are. Dimitri Maxinoff, BBYQ update. Do you know anything about GNS, Roger Hamilton's company? Seems to be priming for a pump and dump. Happy birthday. Love you. GNS, they are one of the companies suing for illegal shorting. They're in that flamethrower CEO group. I have no clue as to the viability of their company, but I do know that they were heavily shorted and probably illegally naked sold. So that's why they get bandied about. And he's a very active CEO. So, I mean, it's pumped and dumped previously. It has not had the MOAS effect yet that we look for in that stuff. But I guess we'll see where that goes. Stonk Cobain, if there was a cocktail named after you, what should it be called? I do have my own cocktail. There's several versions. Some call it the Houstini, others call it the Houstarita, or the Houston Colada, depending on what you put in there. But it's a drink I made when I worked at a bar, and it was pineapple juice, significant amount of pineapple juice, a little bit of orange, pinch of lime, a little bit of peach blini. It's a sugary drink. It's a panty dropper. And throw in your alcohol. Usually make it rum or tequila. Give it a good shake. Pour that in the ice into a glass, and then you put cranberry juice over the top of it, and it bleeds over everything. Serve it with a little lime slice. Boom. You will never taste how much alcohol is in there. It is sweet and delicious, and you will get absolutely wasted. So, yeah. Houstini, Houston Libre, Houston Colada, whatever alcohol I put in there, put the suffix on there. I just lost my where. Oh, okay, that's where I am. And it just reset. You bastard! Quit resetting. I'm trying to read what is here. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Trey Spider, Dimitri Maxinoff. We did that one. Trey Spider. Who's Gregory McCabe? He's the chairman and largest shareholder of NextBridge. First name, last name, Houston. Why is the U.S. political system basically right or left wing? Why can't other parties make headway? What happened to separation of church and state? Shake my head. We are a bipolar country because of our political system. We have what's called first past the post, which means whoever has plurality generally can win an election. So let's say you have 4 candidates for a race, right? And 2 of them are left, 2 of them are right, so they split the votes amongst them. So this guy gets 25%, this guy gets 17, this one gets 25%, and this one gets like 30-something. The guy with 30-something, even though he didn't win 50% or more of the vote, he gets the seat. So what this does is it pushes everything largely into 2 parties who get a plurality of the vote with a bunch of also-rans that are other parties. And because we set up our Senate and House with elections this way, means other parties just aren't viable. Other like parliamentary systems will get around this because you vote for a party, and you'll see things like a list of potential people that can get seated for that party. Let's say you vote for, I don't know, a Labour Party in parliamentary elections. This Labour Party might list 100 different members of the Labour Party. At the end, they'll have like famous soccer players or actors or musicians. They know that they won't get 100% of the vote, so that those last few people at the bottom of the list won't get seated. But it helps fool the dumb people. They go, oh, I really like, I don't know, Billy Idol. I'm going to vote for them. But if you get 20% of the vote, your top 20 seats go to the parliamentary, or top 20% of your seats go to that parliament. Not all parliamentary systems do it that way, but a lot of them do. And this allows minority representation in parliament, so that if you have a larger party that gains more control, they're forced to form a coalition with those smaller parties, which means they've got to acquiesce some of their platform to the platforms of the smaller parties, giving the smaller parties power. Let's say a party that is against healthcare reform wins, right? And they got 30% of the votes. They want 30% of the seats, but they need a 50% majority to form a government. So they might look to other parties that might join them, but the other parties say, "We'll join your coalition, but you have to drop the healthcare reform, or you have to add healthcare reform or something to your platform." And they go, "All right, we'll add healthcare reform to our platform if you join and vote for us and the rest of these things." And the small party go, "Okay, we got through the important thing we wanted, and now you make one of our guys minister of finance and add a couple other people in our party to positions of power. We're good." And so it makes for a lot of brokering, and a lot of things get put through quickly because these smaller parties won't join unless their goals get acted upon. So you get a lot faster change. But the U.S. doesn't have that system. We have a first past the post system, which is, except for some states like Georgia has a 50% plus one, so they have runoff elections, but most states don't. Most states, a minority candidate can win. Your president can be, a plurality candidate win. Your president can win the election by not winning them a popular vote, and have a weird antiquated system like the Electoral College, which was created basically to give slaveholding states outsized power. And some people will send me, stuff from Federalist Papers saying, "No, it was a guy from New Jersey came up with this. It was a guy from New Jersey came up with the system to make the southern states happy." If you looked at old election system, it was only men, and only men who had property. If you had deeded land and you were a man, you could vote. No one else could vote. But your power was derived from how many people you had in your system, right? Not quite. Like if it was only deeded landowners or men who could vote, the cities would absolutely have dominated the very rural America at the time. Like America was like 98% rural in 1790, but most landowners owned small parcels in the cities. So you had lots of people owning land in the cities who all had the right to vote. Out in the country, it was usually one rich guy who owned gigantic plantations. So there were more voters in a city of 50,000 people, like Boston or New York, than there were in the entire state of Virginia, because Virginia had like 5 landowners. So what they did was they made black people, enslaved people, worth 3/5 of a human being. So that when it came to electoral power, you had very few voters voting in Virginia. We had a whole bunch of rural people and a whole bunch of slaves. And this gave them outsized power, which is why for the first, 36 years of our country, the president was from Virginia. Even though states like Pennsylvania, New York, and Massachusetts had thousands upon thousands upon thousands of more votes than Virginia did. So our entire system of governance is still antiquated and based upon this, the system of slavery in the U.S. And that's one thing I would love to see change. Is now 76% of the country is urban, and only like 3% is rural. So we've completely flipped. But our election system gives outsized power to these rural states still, and land shouldn't vote. People vote. So yeah, we should have an election system that caters to people. And I'd love to see coalition governments. I'd love to see get rid of the filibuster, get stuff passed through quickly in Congress, and make change quick, and through coalitions. To me, that's the best way you can govern. But we just like to have things just grind to a halt. Nothing gets done because you need a 60-vote majority in the Senate to get anything done, and you can never get that because we're stupid. So, Bill Coin, GME heading down. Is it? It is heading down. Down $19. Looks like a deal. Revenue's down. Net income was up, though. Earnings per share went up. Net profits margin went up. Operating income went up. Net change in cash. So looks like everything was better news except for overall revenue, which went down. So I do think that their goal is to not be a company that only makes its profit at Christmas time, but makes it more throughout the year. But it doesn't quite look like. Well, we'll have to see where it goes. But it's a deal right now. Looks like it's a deal. So get it while you can. Nathan Scott. Spent the last 6 months working at the hospital in Everett, Washington. Now I'm headed to Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Thanks for the awesome suggestions. We loved your state. Well, welcome. Are you a traveling nurse, or your partner traveling nurse? Because if so, get to see the world and get paid really, really well to do it. I have an ex-girlfriend that's a traveling nurse. She does 3-month contracts, and it seems like she's in somewhere new constantly. She just took a contract actually in Canada. So I don't know. I didn't know you guys had traveling nurses in Canada, but she took a contract in Toronto, is now there after being in. She's originally Seattle. She did New York, New Orleans, Atlanta, somewhere like Medford, Oregon, or something. She hated that, and now Toronto. So get it. Amber Fire Right, Canadian broker BMO is DRSing my shares. Seems all clear. Drew Saul, I'm getting impatient. I want the housing market to crash so I can buy a house. I want to MOAS, then the housing market crash, and then I can buy. That's what I want. Michael Harrow, if you had $20 to spend, would you buy $20 of BBYQ or $20 of Mega Million Dollar tickets with a jackpot of $1.5 billion? I have a comfortable amount of BBYQ. I did actually spend $20 on a lot of tickets. Did anyone win? Was that last night? Mega Millions. What's it at? Oh, somebody won. Somebody won last night. Jackpot winner was in Florida. Match 5 winners, you got California, Pennsylvania, Texas, and West Virginia. Match 5, Florida, North Carolina. So, yeah, winner in Florida this time around. I think the take home was like 757 million or something. So, way to go, person in Florida. I hope you're an ape, and I hope you use it to start MOAS. So, let the rest of us join you. Amber Fight, we live in Maui. Where in Maui are you, Amber? Hope everything's going all right. Different Lime, Houston. Took the money set aside for the UPS play that never happened and finally got a BBYQ. Let's ride. Let's ride. Wet-headed Houston, sexy. Bat bones. Well, it's getting dry now. Yep. It's American Mon, Houston. Happy birthday, Mon. OMG, I'm shocked right now. What do I say to a family member who genuinely believes the Earth is flat? For real? Are they too far down the rabbit hole? Honestly, I've debated the dudes online. I will absolutely destroy them, and it won't matter. I'll prove everything that they claim is wrong using physics, evidence, you name it, and they'll still be like, but like, no. What I think is hilarious is when these dudes, the flat earthers, and they're always dudes, when they create an experiment to prove the Earth is flat, and then their experiment shows them the Earth is round, and then they can't figure out why the experiment didn't turn out the way they wanted. Like my favorite was these guys figured, okay, if Earth is round, right? Whoop, we should be able to set up a laser here, go on a surface like a lake or an ocean, and set up a boat with a pylon that's the exact same height. If we fire the laser, if the Earth is flat, the laser will go through the hole in our pylon, and we will prove that the Earth is flat. They set up everything. They go out like Pyramid Lake in California, Nevada, and they set the laser on land at say 6 feet, get a pylon, a boat 6 feet on the ocean. They shoot the laser out, and it misses them at exactly the angle of the Earth's roundness. And then they're like, "What we do wrong? Like, you did the experiment right. You just proved the Earth is round, you dummy." And like, you can do things like take 2 sticks, right? Sunny day in, I don't know, Montana. Stick a stick in the ground. You go due south, exactly due south. You set the stick in the ground in like New Mexico. At the exact same time of the day, you measure the size of the shadow. And the difference in shadow size happens to be the difference in the curvature of the Earth. And they'll do this stuff, and they'll be like, "What did we do wrong? I can't figure it out." Anyway, I don't know how to fix somebody. I mean, if you were to pay several $1 million to have one of these space companies launch them into orbit, and they go up into orbit, they orbit the Earth, woohoo, and they come back down, they're going to tell you that they're inside a music park machine and that you had, I don't know, LCD screens on the windows, and they're going to figure out everything that could be possibly fake, and that's what they're going to go with. You can't fix them. They're broken human beings. And do you guys remember on Twitter when that Daniel dude who used to watch this show, who was a flat earther, was trying to convince me that the moon had to be really big and really close to the sun because that's the only way to create a shadow? And I showed him that you can create a shadow. Like, I can make a shadow on my face right now from that light. And if I push it closer to the light, the shadow gets larger. But there's still a shadow on my face from this light. You just can't see it because the camera's coming from there. And then, like, when the moon eclipses the sun, it's only like a little part of the Earth gets the shadow on it because the moon's tiny, right? So only this little tiny bit gets the shadow. Anyway, he did not understand how perspective worked, and so like I showed him a picture of this little girl. Tiny little girl, little 2-year-old, and she's like looking like she's holding the Eiffel Tower, but she's just really close to the camera. He's not 900 feet tall, Daniel. It's perspective. It's forced perspective. So the flat Earth people are just stupid. There's nothing else I can go from there. They're just really, really dumb motherfuckers. So Jamaican Mon, I think the best thing you can do is either not engage, or if you do engage, just make fun of them ruthlessly. Make them feel real stupid and small. They may go further in the flat earthness, but then you just make fun of them more. Because you might as well be getting something out of it, and just ripping on a flat earther might as well be something, right? So there you go. All right, Lord Jameson. Tell me, why does a Major League Baseball team go to the AA club to start a pitcher tonight when they have a AAA team down the road in Tacoma? Some of the best pitchers Mariners have come from AA teams. Joel Pinheiro was a AA pitcher, never made AAA. He got promoted right to the big leagues. And it might have been because, the guys they had at AAA, they might have lively arms. They just may not have quite the stuff yet. And some guy in AA didn't have the room at AAA to move into. And so they're like, you know what? Get in there, buddy. So yeah, it happens. Joel Pinheiro was a solid pitcher. He played for the Mariners for years. Didn't he win a World Series with Kansas City? Joel Pinheiro, baseball pitcher. He bounced around quite a bit. He was really good though. Yeah, WAR of 12.7 over his career. Not too shabby. Pitched for Seattle for years. Toronto. Oh no, he went to Boston, St. Louis, and LA. That's right. But yeah, he came out of AA. Pitched one game at AA, and then came back. Made the team the next season in 2001. Was part of the 2001 team that was the greatest regular season team of all time. Yeah, he was a solid player. 16-game winner in 2003. 15 in 2009 with St. Louis. So, had quite a few complete games for the Mariners too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 complete games for the Mariners. Not too shabby. Strong arm. They don't let players get pitch complete games anymore. It's a bummer. Led the league in walks per 9 innings, 1.1 with St. Louis in 2009. That's some good control. But yeah, it happens. It happens. Sometimes he's got to get that arm. You're like, you know what? They're good enough. Let's do it. Christelle, Houston, did I hear you had a little 3-point-something earthquake your way? Did you feel anything? I felt it. It was at 3:17 in the morning 2 nights ago. It felt like somebody just like shoved my headboard once. It's like a punk. That's P-wave. It was decent distance from us, kind of northeast of Seattle, at about my latitude, but maybe 40 miles away, 30 miles away. So I just got one little bunk. I thought, was that an earthquake? Because no one slammed the door very hard. Everyone was asleep. So I looked up my phone. Sure enough, earthquake. Lucas Speed, I was in Lahaina in 2018. Love Front Street. Sad to hear about the fires. Yeah, I haven't been to Lahaina since 2014, but it's a cute little town. Not quite like the beautiful tropical, because it's like built on the water. It's a port city, but it's a quaint one. It's cute. Aaron Salentine, Houston. A ton of open interest on finger motion next week. Gamma squeeze incoming. Also, what happens if you do not transfer my 1,789 shares ML2P to AST? Do the brokers still owe me the dividends, or what? The brokers will theoretically owe you the dividends. There's fear that the brokers may just delete your shares because there's no numerical value associated with them. They go, well, these things aren't worth anything. Delete. Whoosh, and clear the plate of them. So I just transferred. That's what I did. You make up your own mind. Take your own gamble. PW Brand, a lot. They disclosed that FINRA won't help them. They want everyone to transfer to AST, offering a reward for doing so. Seems to be leaning towards drilling and selling oil gas. Oh, talking about some of what's happening, what's up with NextBridge. Yeah, that's what's up. Amber Firelight also have a flat earth friend. They take Bible verses literally, unhealthy extent, believing the Bible makes sense. There is great wisdom in there, powerful stories, and archaeological connections. That's true. So my roommate is training to be a rabbi, right? And his favorite thing in the world is to go on religious Discord servers and just discuss religion. Sometimes it's debating, sometimes it's like figuring stuff out, whatever. He's been on a server recently that's a lot of Sunni Muslims, and Sunni Muslims take literal. What's the name of the books? So there was the Quran, which was Muhammad wrote, and then there was a book of sayings that were collected about 200 years later, and they sort of arbitrarily said this one's not real, this one's real, whatever, and then they adhere to it. And one of the Sunnis was a devout fundamentalist, and they don't realize that my friend speaks Arabic. His dad was Muslim. He has read the Quran. He's read all the hadiths, and so this guy's telling that he's a heathen because he's Jewish, and because he doesn't follow the hadiths and stuff, he's going to go to hell. And so my roommate was like, hey, why don't you prove the hadiths right and eat these 7 dates, because in the book it says that God said these 7 dates can make you immune to poisons. So eat these 7 dates and drink a gallon of bleach. Let me know what's happening. The guy's like, okay. He's like, dude, don't really do that. I don't want you to die. He's like, no, by Allah, I'm going to do it. So apparently on Discord at some point, there's going to be a guy eating 7 dates and then drinking a gallon of bleach. So that's something to look forward to. And if he lives, then he's proved everybody that his particular faith is the way to go. But yeah, it's taking this stuff literally. I mean, a lot of these religious texts that we have were written by people who never had the concept of zero. Like, they didn't know what nothing was. It's weird to think about that. I mean, prior to 1977, nobody knew what a high five was. Think about that. Like, your entire life, you just assumed high five is a thing. You meet a baby, like, high five. The baby's like, hell yeah, brother. It's one of the first things kids learn. Prior to 1977, no one had ever high fived. Think about that. No one had ever done a high five prior to Dusty Baker in 1977. It did not exist. There was no reference to it in literature, no reference to it in pop culture, no reference to it in movies, plays, theater, whatever. No one had ever high fived before. Putting your hands up, another person slapping them, did not occur to human beings prior to 1977. So now we have people writing important texts that we follow for our entire lives who never had a concept of what nothing was. Zero was not a numerical consideration. I don't know how much philosophy I could take from someone who never high-fived somebody before, or did not know what zero was. I don't know. We should have a new calendar. The BHF and then post HF. So it would be post HF 46 this year. Yeah. Before high five, post high five, or call after high five, AHF. I like AHF, after high five. Yeah, 46 AHF is our news time schedule. Hey, fat boy, come and join us. Yeah. So my roommate's orange cat, who seems to try to avoid the kitten at all times, has now discovered that the fat man loves to sleep on my clothing shelf. And I have nice little folded sweaters and stuff. The fat man makes a little bed there. It's very annoying. But the orange cat has now discovered that it's so wonderful, and she climbs in there, and now I've got like a cat condominium going on, and they just mess up my clothes, and I shouldn't even bother folding my clothes anymore. I just throw in a pile, and the cats love it. Right, you dumb piece of crap. Look at you, fat boy. Oh, you chunker. Oh, get up there. Come on. Come say hi. Get up. Get up. Come on. Come on. There you go. Yeah. Look at that butthole. Butthole. Okay. Trace Batter. So my thoughts are, if FINRA was able to get away with defrauding MMTLP shareholders, what makes you think FINRA won't do the same thing to meme stock potential runs? That was kind of my hypothesis back in November, December. I said, this is a litmus test as to how they're going to operate with possibly a bigger company having something similar occur. And so far, the litmus test has proved right for FINRA. Like they haven't faced too much, but I do think there's a comeuppance coming. I think there's going to be a fundamental shift, and it might be led by congressional pressure on the SEC. So Congress is looking into this stuff. They're wanting a bunch of stuff by Wednesday, Thursday, the 11th. Friday. Friday's 11th. Which day of the week it is? So by Friday, they're supposed to submit. The SEC is supposed to submit a bunch of stuff regarding FINRA and MMTLP, and my thinking is that Congress will put enough pressure on the SEC, who will then put a bunch of pressure on FINRA to clean up their act and do something about the thresholds list, naked short selling, swaps, all three of those things that are catering to this whole derivatives market fiasco that we've got brewing. It just takes time, and you guys have been so amazing. Say we, but you all have been so annoying and so relentless and so just unforgiving, and just contacting SEC, contacting FINRA, contacting your brokers, contacting elected officials, contacting, the FBI. Just letting them all have this on their radar. So there's somebody at every step of the way that when you call, they go, oh, yes, I've heard about this. It's another call, Ted. And they're going to have to do something eventually, because otherwise they're going to have to put up with our annoying asses forever, because we will pass it along to our grandchildren, and they will call and be annoying to their grandchildren until someone does something about it. The Hain Train. Haven't seen the Hain Train in a while. When's next Cherry Tuesday? I need a new calendar. Next Cherry Tuesday is going to be the 29th. That's Cherry Tuesday. So August 29th will be our Cherry Tuesday. Leading contender will be something to benefit folks in Maui. I don't know. Another natural disaster bigger may come along between now and then. But yeah, we're looking at the 29th. And the giveaway is going to be a raffle for Blue Sky invite codes. So I hope to have 8 or more Blue Sky invite codes. And again, if you have Blue Sky invite codes collecting in your account every 2 weeks, and you'd like to donate them for our raffle, by all means, send them my way, and we'll have even more. But somewhere around 8 right now that we'll have by the time that comes around. I'll have 3, maybe 4 by then. My friend Andy is offering 5 that he'll have by then. So 8-ish. And if you guys want to donate more, we can try to get the whole crew over in Blue Sky. Aaron Salentine, how do I get them to AST? If there aren't enough placeholders, do I still get the rights to passive income, dividend, or one-time payment if the assets of Next Bridge are sold? I'm lost on this. Call your broker and you say, I want to register my shares. I don't know who your broker is. With Fidelity, I went to the app. I clicked on my little head, little account thing. Below that it says contact us. Hit that. There's an option to go by chat. Ignore that. There's an option to call them. Hit that. Call Fidelity. The robot answers. It says, why are you calling Fidelity? You say, direct register shares. And they'll say, would you like to transfer shares into Fidelity like transfer shares out of Fidelity or something else. You say something else. And then they send you to a person. And that person says, oh, you want to direct register shares? Which stock? And you explain to them that S1 got filed by NextBridge saying that only those who direct register their shares will be entitled to a dividend share they're giving out in a new company. They'll spend about 5 minutes looking for the S1. They'll read it and they'll say, okay, we can direct register those for you. It'll cost $100 or whatever. And that was my experience with Fidelity. So you gotta make sure at least Fidelity to have $100 cleared in your account. So if you have no money in there, send it. Let it take a couple of days to clear because that's annoying. Or you can direct wire it or whatever. It goes faster. But then it'll cost you $100 and they'll charge you and give you a confirmation number. Write that sucker down, keep it somewhere safe, and then you gotta wait weeks. Wait 4 to 6 weeks, I guess, before they break apart those paper shares and send them off to AST. Alex Park, what are the things you're looking forward to if LK99 is a thing? Cold fusion. Lots and lots and lots of cold fusion. Supercomputers for everyone. Tabletop quantum computers. Cell phones whose batteries last friggin' 5 months. Electric cars that can drive back and forth across the United States before you have to charge them. Electric airplanes. We would be able to have electric airplanes. Can you imagine that? What would happen to all the contrails, conspiracy theorist weirdos if all of a sudden all the planes flying around were electric? Where did contrails go? I mean, you'd be able to have electric ships going across the ocean. We're talking incredible stuff. Like in the space that you now have like a giant 100,000 horse, 1,000 liter engine or whatever that's taking a ship across the ocean. You could have battery packs, solid state battery packs that don't give off heat. And in the time it takes those ships to get across the ocean and plug in and recharge, they could unload the ship and be on their next destination. Stuff's going to get cool, man. Stuff's going to get so efficient. LK99 is kind of a ceramic, so I'm not sure exactly how they're going to make wires and things out of it. They'll probably be able to form cast molds. So if you need like toroids and stuff, it'd be interesting to see. But I think the principles at play in LK99 will be studied and transferred into other materials out there, and we might have a whole category of room temperature superconductors as a result. I'm very excited. Very excited to see where it goes. J-Dog, go Mariners. Woo! Hoshi, Houston, any workout tips? I tried doing the reps slow and I feel stronger than ever trying to get gorilla strength. Slow and heavy is one way to get freakishly strong. Well, you can do lots of reps of slow and heavy, lots of sets. It's been a while. I was working out a lot last year, and then I slipped a disc in my back, and I have not worked out since. I like to be strong and fast, and so I go for as heavy as I possibly can get, and do as many reps at that as I can, and then I take down a step and do as many. I go to fatigue. That's my goal. So like, let's say like lat pull downs. I'll get myself up to 200 and something pounds on a lat pull down, right? Say like 240, but might be where I'm maxing out. So I'll do 240 pounds at that, and I'll do as many as I can. And then I'll set to 220, do as many as I can. Then to like 190, do as many as I can. And work myself down. So I'll do like 6 sets maybe until I'm at what is kind of a wimpy PowerPoint, and then I just move on to the next thing. But I mean, there's lots of different ways. If you're looking for like bulk, you're gonna want to do like lots of reps, slow, heavy, and then inject yourself with HGH and whatever else. But there's all sorts of different kinds of strength. Tendon strength is the most important strength, I think. Right now, I don't have much tendon strength in my left arm. But Like, look at the muscle mass of a chimpanzee. They're smaller than us. They're teeny tiny, but their tendon strength is insane, and they can literally rip your arms out of your sockets and then beat you to death with them if they want to. That's like a gymnast. I had a friend. He was a MMA fighter, and he doesn't want to get too big because he wants to be in certain weight classes. And he's telling me one day he's at the gym, and he saw this guy, this fucking massive dude. He gets down, he benches like 400 pounds, struggling, does like 10 of them, and he's like, oh! And then this tiny little like 5'6" guy came in, benched the same amount of weight, and then just left the gym. And he was like, what the fuck? And he chased that guy down. He's like, who are you? And he's like, oh, I'm a gymnast. He was like an Olympic gymnast. And it all came down to tendon strength. This dude was like 5'6" and as strong as a guy who was like 6'5" and 300 pounds. All because his tendons were absolutely like just so capable from his gymnastics. So there's different kinds of strength. You just got to look for what you need. And like most of my workouts when I worked out were catered towards my baseball career. Like I wanted to make sure my elbow held together and my shoulder held together. And then you want abs and trunk strength. So I've got weak little like chicken legs. I've got skinny legs. I'm a tall, skinny dude. And so I had to focus a lot on building up that trunk strength, which for me, like a high level of strength in my legs is like, I don't know, probably your average woman. but you have to turn your body into a whip, and you got to make sure that the end of your whip stays together and that the tendons and ligaments and all that stuff stay together. So that's how I've focused my workout my entire life, is keeping my arm as together as I can. And that didn't quite work out because I tore my tricep tendon, which is the weirdest tendon in the entire world to tear because no one's ever done that without having their arm severed. But yeah, so now that I can't pull weeds anymore, I should probably start going back to the gym. I don't know what I can do with freaking tennis elbow arm. It hurts, man. Tennis elbow's stupid. Our bodies are dumb. We need nanobots to get injected into our bloodstream and just fix us constantly. Aaron Salentine, the 2 days of trading is the only way to fix this stupid mess with the stock settlement of naked shorts. I agree. 2 days, forced closure, be done with it. Jamaican, come on. Emperor Firelight makes me think I was educated wrong. Their conviction to the flat earth theory was ranging from the Bible, ancient civilizations, etc. Kind of caught me off guard. Lol. Yeah. What I want to know is everything else in the universe is round. And why is it round, kiddos? We discussed this. It's been many months since we talked about it. But say it with me now. Hydrostatic equilibrium. This means the pressure in is the same as pressure out, making for something nice and round. Anything that's larger than about 500 kilometers across ends up becoming round. So if you have an asteroid that's 500 kilometers across, it rounds itself out. It just eventually, the slopes pull towards the center of gravity, and everything becomes round. So anything in the universe that's larger than 500 kilometers across is round. So when we look through a telescope and we see round stars, round planets, round satellites, even round asteroids when they get to a certain size, why would you assume the Earth isn't also round like those things? Why is the Earth special in that way? You know, they'll say, "Oh, you know, you can experience 1 g of acceleration in like an elevator, going up, and that would make you feel like you have gravity." Okay, cool. That requires constant acceleration. What's accelerating Earth to make it have 1 g of gravity? What fuel is being used? Why has it been going on for so long? And where is this fuel source coming from, and how do we tap into it? Because it seems to be an undying fuel source. So why are we burning fuels? Coal and carbon and crap, if that's the case. Por qué? Por qué? Flat Earther. Go take some physics classes. I had at least 2 people try to join my physics program astrophysics program who were doing it specifically because their church was sponsoring them to get an astrophysics degree. Particularly because they wanted them to learn how these evil Satanists in astronomy know what they know, so they can counter all the stuff you learn in astronomy with the Bible. And you can prove the Earth is only 5,000 years old and it's flat and whatever else. And both those guys flunked out so hard because they couldn't do basic math. And it's an absolute case study in Dunning-Kruger, if you ask me. Yeah. Go. If you think you're a flat earther, by all means, head on over to the University of Hawaii at Hilo. It's only like $1,700 a semester. It's really cheap for in-state, right? Or in-state tuition, and if you're in the Western 22 states, it's really cheap. Go get a degree in astronomy. Go do it. Show us that you can do what the scientists can do. And if you can do what the scientists do, then obviously you can prove the scientists wrong, right? So go ahead. Go drop some bills, fill out some FAFSA forms, move to Hilo, get a degree in astronomy, and show us all wrong. If you're so adamant that the Earth is flat, then you should be able to go get a degree in astrophysics. Chris Taylor's helped me greatly when I had a nagging case of tennis elbow. Okay, let's see here. Get better soon. Thank you. Control C. Control V. Go. An exercise for tennis elbow that works. An eccentric exercise has been effectively used in the management of tendinopathies in multiple regions of the body. Lateral epicondylosis, tennis elbow, is a common tendinopathy that has shown improvement following treatment utilizing isokinetic eccentric exercise. A novel exercise was developed for home-based eccentric exercise that has shown promise for use with patients with lateral epicondylosis. Clinicians should be aware of this exercise and consider it an evidence-based intervention. Okay. My goodness, this is a lot of words here, but I'm totally going to check this out. Okay. How do you do the exercise? Therapy exercise has been found to be effective intervention for a variety of things. Eccentric exercise may also provide neuromuscular benefits through central adaptation of both agonist and antagonist muscles. Therefore, TEE may provide both a structural and functional benefit. Okay, show me how to do it. All right, looks like I'm going to jerk something off. So I got to... Which one's the bad elbow? Which one is the bad elbow? So, is the bad elbow the top one? And am I twisting? Is that what I'm doing? Am I jerking this thing off? What am I doing? And then this way, it looks like I'm twisting this thing. I do, when I go to the gym, I have a stick attached to a string and like a 5 or 10 pound weight. And one of the pitching exercises, you just roll that sucker up and down. Roll up and down. And that, holy crap, will give you forearms like Popeye. Instructions for the 5 steps of the exercise. Hold a flex bar. Involved right hand in maximum wrist extension. Grab other end of flex bar with uninvolved left hand. Twist flex bar with non-involved wrist while holding the involved wrist in extension D. Okay. So one stays the same, the other twists. That's what they're saying. And they do the opposite. Twist it. Okay. Bring arms in front of body, elbows in extension while maintaining twist flex bar, holding with non-involved wrist for full flexion and the involved wrist extension. Slowly allow flex bar to untwist by allowing uninvolved wrist to move into flexion. Eccentric. So yeah, so I guess you're doing this. So what is this bar? This is a flex bar exercise. Okay. Get myself a flex bar. This guy seems really happy at the end. I'll give him that. 3 sets of 15 each day. So you just do 15, jerk it like a riding motorcycle. Okay. Each repetition took 4 seconds to complete, and there was a 30-second rest between each set of 15. The exercise was performed both during clinic visits and at home, and once patients could perform 3 sets of 15, they progressed to the next color, flex bar indicating higher intensity of eccentric resistance. So I need flex bars, apparently. Flex bar. Flex bar on Amazon. So, 31 bucks. Heavy, light, medium. All right. I need to get rid of this fucking pain. All right. So 31 bucks. Looks like the price for the light, medium, heavy. 51, 110. Haha, we're not doing that one. We're going to do a $31 one. Sweet. We're going to add this to our cart right now. Bye now. Place your order. Boom. Getting flex bars. I'm going to do this exercise. It's going to be awesome. And I'm going to get rid of this stupid tennis elbow. Okay. Sweet. Thank you, Chris Taylor. I'm going to be jerking off like a champ soon. RJ Lowe, did you watch Oppenheimer? I've not seen Oppenheimer yet. I have not been to a movie in... When was the last movie I saw in the theaters, Monkey? It's been a long time. A really long time. I've not been to a movie in so long. Ugh. James Bond? That's like 2 years ago. Oh, man. Kevin Rannon, happy birthday, Houston. McCabe bought the debt from Acme. What are the implications of him owning the bonds? Maybe his goal is have those bonds, and if the company can't pay him back, collateralize it and turn it convertible and own a larger portion of the company, I guess. Or, I don't know, get paid out of bankruptcy. I don't know why. To me, it seems like he wants larger control of those lands because he knows what's on them, personally. Hoshi. Oh, yeah, by the way, Houston, in Oahu, on the dry side where I live, we lost energy almost a whole day. Winds knocked down 4 light poles. Yikes. I bet waves are good. No? The waves are probably fantastic on the south side from the hurricanes right now. So, yeah, you guys probably had just killer waves. For posterity, do we still believe in MOAS, or are we in agreement the entire system is a sham that only works for the elite? I think MOAS is still a possibility and probably the only way to truly rectify what's gone wrong. Problem is, I don't think MOAS can happen until various financial institutions lose their power. And by losing their power, I mean experience significant losses. If you experience significant losses and hedge funds start blinking out of existence and banks start going down, then they don't have much mechanisms in place to keep the price of these shares at their... Oh, the little kitten's here. Hey, little kitten. One sec. Let me show you guys the kitten. Stay. There. Hey, little kitten. Nope. No. You stay. Hey, little kitten. Hi, buddy. Yeah, hi. Come here. Everybody say hi. Oh, I got you. I got you, little buddy. Yo, this is Calypso. This is Calypso the kitten. Look at this little girl. Oh, she's so cute. She's a little Maine Coon kitten. And she finally started coming up and visiting upstairs. She's so adorable. Monkey Butt half wants to eat her, half wants to be her best friend in the entire world. And doesn't quite know what to make of this little thing. And a lot of times is terrified of the kitten. She'll just start vibrating in the corner for no reason because the cat's in the room. She's a little sweetie. She's a little sweetie. Little adventure creature. Yeah. Whoa, little kitten. Monkey is just surrounded by cats right now. It's just a nightmare, isn't it, Monkey Butt? Absolute nightmare. Yeah. You hanging out? You hang out with us? Yeah. She's got a little bow tie. She's ready to go. Yeah. Exciting, huh? Oh, what you got down there? You gonna do a jump? Monkey, be nice. You need to learn to be gentle with the kitten, because the kitten is small and fragile, and you are large and oafish. Yes. All right. All right, kitten, you hang out with us, buddy. Yeah. Okay. Little tail. Oh. Cattail karaoke with the kitten. Don't you drink my water, though. That's my water. Okay, I have to get my hand under your butt so I can scroll and I can get through the comments. Okay. MA lives in Maui. Hope you're doing all right in Maui and you're not near Lahaina. Nope, don't put your face in there. That's mine. Jay, once something is on their expert market, it could still be used for reverse merger, right? I don't see why not. It's as long as you keep the accounting team together, you're good to go. Right, little kitten? Oh, little buddy. You're so small. Yes, you were. I'm just going to be distracted and just play with you the entire time because you're a little buddy. Yeah. A little buddy. You want to say hi to Triple Batman? Because, he loves you. Here. We'll get you over to Triple Batman. Oh, yes. Here's your little friend. Yeah. Oh, running away. You can investigate. I'll make sure the big dog doesn't bother you. Okay. Where was I? Scott Malkinson. Scott Malkinson. Oh, hey, monkey. Leave the kitten alone. Let her explore without you sticking your nose in her butt. What's fly with BBY? Oh, there you go. You can say hi. You be nice, monkey? Yeah. Okay. Let the kitten go. Let her do her thing. I know you want to go chase after her because it's small and it will run, and then it will make your sight hound instincts go in. Then you'd just be an awful evil dog and we'll have to put you down or something. We don't want to do that. Okay. McCabe purchased the loans. He did. It's from How I Met Your Moas. BW, yes, we know. Cheshire, Houston. Just saw Oppenheimer. Your thoughts on enormous burden he carried in the end, and was Truman correct in using the bomb? Should we have waited? Thanks, H. Monkey Butt and Chew Batman want treats. They do want treats, but you don't get them right now. It's too early still. Okay. One thing Truman was correct about was that Oppenheimer was just a whiner. Like, he was, woe is me. Oh, I'm carrying this giant burden. And Truman was like, no, it was my decision. Shut up, you pussy. And I don't know if you've looked at Truman's war record in World War I. That dude probably had the highest body count of any president we've ever had. I mean, in the trenches of World War I, he slaughtered. Absolutely, just read up on Truman's World War I war history. Absolutely insane, the number of people that he probably personally killed. So he knew better than almost anyone who's ever been president what the hell of war is like. Now, was it the right decision to drop the bombs on Japan? I mean, it's genocidal act. I'll agree with that. Did it end the war? It did definitely end it sooner than doing a land invasion in Japan, which probably would have cost a couple 100,000 American lives in the process, and taken months until Japan got starved out. I mean, the firebombing of Tokyo. Monkey butt, monkey, just chill. The cat's doing her thing. Cat's doing her thing. All right. Yeah. I know I've talked about this book quite a bit, Making the Atomic Bomb. The chapter on the firebombing of Tokyo puts in perspective the horrors of dropping the bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Because what we did to Tokyo was as bad and just way more prolonged. We killed 200,000 people by just causing firestorms in the city, and people just burned alive. Like what happened in Lahaina, we did to Tokyo. Just dropping napalm and incendiaries and everything else. It was just absolutely crazy. Now, a lot of people will look back and say, "Oh, it was not necessary to drop the atomic bombs," and I can't claim. Oh, hi, kitten. You just want to run around and make a little bell jingle. I can't say if it was truly the right or wrong decision or not. I know that there were several reasons. One, get Japan to acquiesce and sue for peace. Two, to show the world that we had the ability to blow everyone the fuck up and they better listen to us. And that probably was a larger one. We wanted the Russians to know that when this war's over, we hold all the cards. I do think Oppenheimer was a bit of a whiner. Like, he knew what he was doing when he was doing it. It was only after they pushed the button he went, oh, I've got such a burden. And that's kind of the way historians have looked at it. Hi, kitten, coming back? Yeah? Hello, how are you? Oh, monkey. Hey, you don't do that to kitten. Don't do that. You be nice. It's a small, fragile little thing. You don't make snippy noises at it. You be nice. Be nice. It's okay, kid. I know, it's a big, scary, dumb dog. You be nice. The cat's got balls, though. It came right back in. Be nice. You want to chew on the dog's bone? You can do whatever you want. I won't let the dog do anything. You can chew on that bone all day long, kitten. Works for me. Figure out how to behave yourself. You've been around cats your entire life. This was just small. Alright? Jake? You can be nice? You can be nice? Welcome to Houston Shames His Dog. Every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Oh, now you're scared of the kitten, huh? Now you're scared you're going to go up there and vibrate. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, it's alright, buddy. Kitten, you can go wherever you want, do whatever you want. The big dog is now terrified of you. We did a goal. And oh, there you are. There you are. Hi. Made a crazy loop. Oh, you can come in for some more? Need to put a GoPro on this thing as it wanders around. All right. Now it's in the closet, so who knows where it's going to go from there. All right. But I do think the prospect, like, we've not had a war since World War II that was like World War II, where you're dealing with three specific nations whose entire goal was to divvy up the planet and basically enslave or murder everyone. That is a weird prospect to have on the psyche every day. And, you know, yes, there's lots of racism involved on both sides. You know, you other the other side. And we had our propaganda in the U.S. that specifically catered towards that, especially the Japanese. We interned the Japanese based on completely racist, Japanese Americans based on racist ideals. My home, Bainbridge Island, was where the Japanese internment began. When Executive Order 9066 started, they rounded up the Japanese people in my community first, the whole nation. So Japanese internment memorials here. And I'm sure that the othering of the Japanese played a giant role in dropping the atomic bomb on them. And they literally saved those two cities. They saved Hiroshima and Nagasaki from American bombing campaigns because they wanted to see what destruction would happen from these bombs. They were experiments. And then 100,000 people in each of those cities died based on that experiment. And absolutely horrible. But we dropped the first bomb, and the Emperor didn't sue for peace. And we dropped the second bomb, the Emperor finally was like, fine, we give up. So obviously a quick end to the war happened because of those bombs. I would rather we have used the first one on, I don't know, the Japanese Navy fleet or something, if we're going to drop one, like an actual military target and not civilians. But man, yeah, just reading the first 2/3 of this book, I can only read a couple pages at a time because my head couldn't wrap around the physics. And as degrees in physics, it was a lot to eat. I'd read 2 pages and then sit for a week and read 2 pages, sit for a week. The second part of the last third of the book was describing what the bombs did to people. And monkey, be nice. Describing what the bombs did to people. And I can only read 2 pages at that time because it was so horrific. So I do recommend every human being alive should finish this book once in their life. It is one of the most magnificent works of research I may ever encounter. Absolutely phenomenal. And it is just a lot to take in. And it's a lot of book to begin with. But I still honestly don't know if dropping the bomb's the right thing. I personally, if I were Truman, I would have just bombed the Japanese Navy fleet and wiped it out. Monkey, quit acting like you're hunting, you dick. Monkey, get back up here. Come on, get back up. Get baby. Okay. Copy paste is getting hard to use. This AI version of Houston, his left eye is off somewhat. They need to fix that. Oh, I just got a display connection might be limited. Make sure display port device you're connecting to is supported by your PC. Did you just pull a wire out of the wall or something? I have a feeling the cat just like tugged on a wire and now something's being weird. Well, can't do anything about it now. Godson, Jesus Christ Saves, hi from Maui. Another person from Maui probably didn't like the fact that I kind of shit on religion there. Sorry, man, but it's true. Just find a picture of Bill Gates with long hair close enough. Let the kitten do his thing, her thing. Peruvian TV is saying there was an alien attack and there are many injured, dead, videos and pictures forthcoming. What? Terrified Peruvian villagers under attack from 7-foot-tall aliens 13 hours ago. This is from 2 days ago, Daily Mail. The Express is not to be trusted by anybody, and Daily Mail is probably also not to be trusted. Vibe.com. Peruvian villagers claim they were attacked by Predator-style aliens. Daily Express, Days Digital. Did we get anybody that's Peruvian TV saying there's an alien attack? That's from 4 hours ago. Armored alien attacks teen girl in Peru. Claim is met with, what the heck? Shocking footage. Peruvian local attacked by alien? Nine hours ago, Peruvian alien sightings turn out to be illegal miners. Okay. All right. Here you go. 7-foot green goblin aliens terrorizing village turn out to be illegal gold miners. Villagers from a tribe in rural Peru were terrorized for weeks by what one news report called 7-foot armored aliens resembling Green Goblin from Spider-Man. A recent investigation by the local prosecutor's office revealed that the men were actually illegal miners seeking to sow terror among the tribe while they committed illegal activities. The group launched nightly attacks on the villages in Alto Nanay, a district in the Amazonian region, northeast of Lima, Peru's capital. Z News Service reported the extraterrestrial beings had large heads and yellowish eyes, had been attacking the village at night since July 11th. A video on TikTok showed villagers giving testimony to police about the attacks on them by the purported extraterrestrials. Village is a 10-hour trip by river from the closest authorities, who visited after the villagers asked the military presence to help them fight the invaders after one alarming incident where a 15-year-old girl was grabbed from behind and had her neck cut when she resisted, according to news reports. Some Twitter users expressed skepticism about the news story before the prosecutor's report came out. It was genuinely true, and a small indigenous Peruvian village is being terrorized by large armored humanoids with advanced weaponry, wrote Batsman Booty. Boltzmann Booty, sorry. That's just checking whether their presence happens to be holding up any mining or logging rights in the area. Oh, there's someone who's definitely... Mr. Booty called it right from the beginning. Also, users pointed to stories 2019-2020 documenting illegal gold mining activity in Alto Nene, the region where the alien attacks allegedly happened. All right, so there you go. Aliens are actually gold miners because gold miners are dicks. As somebody who's mined lots of gold, I tell you, hey, you're welcome back, kitten. You were just... Here. Come here. I'll pick you up again. Show you everybody. Could you just such adorable little kitten cat? Quit being on my reach, and you quit being a dick. Come on, kitten. Oh no, you don't pay attention anymore because you're a dog. And dogs are stupid, right? Dogs are just stupid dumbos. Yeah. Alright. Kitten found the ball. She's playing with the ball. The monkey is side-eyeing the kitten right now. Don't give direct eye contact. Just side-eye it. Bat Bones. I'm not the only one here, but I own a metric ton of MMMAT, and I still think it has value. Not gonna lie, though, I may be a really long hold. Okay. AMC, wonderful earnings. I mean, they had a lot of blockbusters this year. Elevated Finance, I believe that's inaccurate how you described Ape converting to AMC. There's a conversion equation. It's not 1-to-1. It is 1-to-1. One ape becomes one AMC, and then they do a reverse 10 split. That's what they told us, had us vote on. So that's how the conversion is going to happen. If it doesn't happen that way, then they were lying to us the entire time, and everyone should go to prison for it. Video brand. Bat, if you like the company and their tech and their patents and leadership, they keep holding. The market is against them and will be a tough to resist against. Yeah. Don sees your Shadem. What's your dream house, dream car, and dream partner? Dream house. I don't care as long as I have a really big garage / workshop. I would love to have like a 10,000 square foot workshop. So I can have a side where I do metal stuff, a side where I do wood stuff, a side where I can work on cars. I mean, I guess a dream house would be just make a giant concrete box and then have someone take a crane and just put a mobile home on top of it. Have a real big deck on top of that concrete thing. That'd probably be a dream house. Dream car. I have lots of dream cars. I really like weird 80s, 90s cars. So, like a Renault Alpine, was it GT6? Is that what I'm thinking of? Like a 19, what was this? Probably 85, 88 GT6. 84, here's an 84. Like, that bad bitch. Oh, it's so sexy. These are things that they built for Group B. I think they're just the coolest looking French cars. Probably a electrical nightmare, and engines probably garbage after 20,000 miles. But my goodness, I think they're just so cool looking. I like weird crap like that. You know, they next generation also weird space age. I like weird space age cars. Here's the turbo. Since then they got a little more space ages, like more future age-ish, and I don't know. I like weird 80s, 90s cars. Something along those lines. Maybe like a Subaru SVX, but you swap out a WRX 5 or 6 speed, so it's not that automatic slush box garbage. Dream partner. I don't know if I have a dream partner. Big butts drive Houston nuts. That's all I care about. Okay. Houston's so popular, I was getting super chat ads. Okay, I gotta scroll back to where I was. Where was I? Where was I? All right, gotta find my spot. Sorry. Maui Sam, aloha, maroon, blessings for Maui and the Big Island. Hope you're doing all right over there. RV happened. When is the next? Where's Houston's booty? As soon as Houston can replenish his booty, because I got nothing to replenish it with at the moment. I need some MOAS wins to do a Houston's booty hunt. So that's what's keeping us out there. What's up with docket 1865? Duh. Kroll Associates. Kroll. BBY. Docket 1865. Let's find out. Nope, that's not where I want to go. I want to go Kroll. Click, click, click. Kroll. Restructuring. There we go. Docket. 1865. Letter with reference to hearing notice motion of purchase filed by Colin Enton. Open for me. Open it. Open that file. Continue to open it. Okay. Let's see here. Let's read it. We got the adobes. There we go. Bed Bath & Beyond hearing response to notice of motion purchase offer. Bed Bath & Beyond bankruptcy case. Blah blah blah. Bankruptcy purchase offer. Are you going to scroll? Are you going to allow me to scroll? Are you not responding? There we go. All right. Oh, now you want to highlight everything. We don't want to highlight everything. Honorable Judge Vincent Papalia. I call on 10 Venture Capital Group Investors Canada and the above motion captioned bankruptcy proceedings respectfully to a hearing order motion filed by Colin Etten of the name mentioned in this application. We request a hearing and telephone conversation, not Zoom. Okay. July 24th, 1 p.m. for hearing by telephone. We as Canada investors are putting an offer for the bankruptcy of Bed Bath & Beyond and Bye Bye Baby debt on Rivers Take Over blank the following relief in this application where we were the buyers of Canada, which business of Bed Bath & Beyond had misfit lawyers and employees to run the corporation in the ground of bankruptcy contract for the debt buyers to buy a business for nothing, as this application is with merit and with statute of what we want to do in legal form of law, not like the Revlon where the investors did get nothing, which I was in. We are not working with misfit lawyers. What? Okay, so this is filed. They misspell contract. They misspell buyers. They have, which I was in, we are not working. Investors did get nothing, which I was in. What? I don't, this is obviously not filed by a lawyer. And Colin Atten, Venture Capital Group Investors. They obviously don't have a lawyer working for them. We are working with an honorable judge. You, sir, have the excellence of this kind case and many within experience. Our proposal is clear. The point 6 financing us investors for 1.5 billion, and the investors get their wrong there money, 20 million, take it to Canada, all, and leave USA, America unemployed of 700 million people. We want your choice. This seems like somebody filed something to be a troll and mess with the court. So the court would be angry at trolls, my guess. You, sir, have the experience of law. We build arenas in Canada and already for USA, America to put people to work at good wages. This is America dream of lives. Either the deal 6 financing support us $1.5 billion or we buy all for 20 million. Investors get nothing. Just like Revlon deal, I still have a $7 billion claim in New York court against Revlon, still sitting in bankruptcy court. Anyone call that number? Just borrow and borrow. It's where a misfit employee takes chance place in bankruptcy. So with idea of this business has 2 terms, support 6. I have never seen something filed like this ever. And my guess is that this person might be held in contempt. I'm not sure what contempt means in bankruptcy court. This comes with the hockey team entertainment. I'll even bring Johnny Depp, Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez. This is the most trolly thing I've ever seen in my entire life. This reads like the back of Dr. Bronner's shampoo. Like, it's signed by Colin Etienne. It's got an address, Calgary, Alberta, with a phone number. Certificate of service. Is an absolute crazy person or a troll? One or the other. And if they're a crazy person, then they're a crazy person. If they're a troll, then if I were a judge, I don't know what Article 1 judge can remand someone to jail, but this person's batshit. Absolutely bonkers. So, read it for yourself. Yeah. I've never seen anything like that filed anywhere ever for any reason in a court. But it's filed. It's stamped. Bonkers. But seriously, someone call that phone number. Right there. 587-917-7548. Might be international charges because they're in Canada. But give them a call. See what's up. Jiminius Houston, check out these coordinates. It's always good to get some Google Earth going here. Click. Open Google Earth. Open. Turn you off. Gotta take you. Oh, don't you get all large and high and mighty on me. Come on. Gotta make you a size that I can... There we go. All right. Bam, bam, bam. Naples. We're at Mount Vesuvius. In the crater of Mount Vesuvius. In the super caldera of Naples. Yeah. So, Naples, this whole area here is a supervolcano caldera. Sometime in the future, next several 100,000 years, the people of Naples will be launched into outer space by one of the largest volcanic eruptions you could possibly have. Now, Mount Vesuvius is a volcano itself, but it's a volcano that is a cone of a larger caldera. You can see other volcanic cones in the area. We've got other pit craters and cinder cones all through here. Vesuvius itself has pyroclastic eruptions from time to time, but every 500,000 to a million years, this entire region explodes in a supervolcano that will launch everyone to space. But Pompeii got hit with a pyroclastic flow, wiped out the entire town, and it's now a city built on top of the remnants of the old city. And there's ancient Pompeii dig sites all over the place. And you can see the lahar flows even today on the sides of the mountain. Yeah, so that erupts. It's cool. 1 million people get launched into space someday. But they'll get lots of warning, so, got that going for them. It's Port City. Lots of thugs and crimes and really good pizza. So, there you have it. Go check out Naples. It's like Detroit, but warmer and with better pizza. Peachy Sunday, happy birthday, huge donk. So I managed to send coordinates by using north, south, east, west, plus degree symbol. All right. Rob Carter, why was graphene halted? I mean, GMG was halted, or graphene as the actual scientific material was halted? Not a clue. Let's see here. It's on the Toronto Exchange, so that's not according to Toronto rules. I know not. GMGMF. Graphene Manufacturing Group. It's got some flat steadies. It's $157. I don't know. Not seeing anything from the GMG side. Don't know. Not a clue. I am without clues. Pat Bones hit $16 and buying so many $20 calls. Not a bad idea. It'll get back to 20 all over again. And that's where it kind of sits. Last year they were saying that the shorts were hurting as long as the stock was above $16. I don't know if that's changed, but it's been steady at 20-ish for so long that I can still imagine that. Kelly Reed, some wise words. A banker is a fellow who lends you an umbrella when the sun is shining, but wants it back the minute it begins to rain. Mark Twain. Kelly Reed, it's amazing how everyone is shocked people aren't having kids. Like you saddle a generation of massive debt, second economic crisis, while the government shows little care for you and the children. Yeah, I mean, people just can't afford them. Right? Like, you got student loans, you got prices out of control, you've got people that their income relative to the rest of the economy is falling, and you're wondering why they aren't having kids. And the people who are having kids oftentimes are doing so because they just don't know how to wear a condom. And just pumping them out because they're a bunch of troglodytes. So that's our idiocracy theory at work. Fearham's AMC, how about the amazing AMC earnings and the horrible doom and gloom, pouty, slobbering, junk food eating CEO earnings call? Roll size. I didn't hear their earnings call. They did have great earnings, but he really needs to sell a lot of stock. They have to pay off an exorbitant amount of debt because interest rates are getting out of control. So even if they have great earnings, their debt is drowning them. And why is their debt drowning them? Oh, maybe because they gave $1 billion in stock and bonuses to their executives of the last 5 years. Well, 2020 was the worst year ever because COVID. Yeah, stuff like that. And, they spent $25 million on a gold mine that can't mine any gold. So they got little things like that happening too. Kelly Reed, U.S. total household debt hits all-time high of $17 trillion. Credit card debts hits new record at $1 trillion. Yeah, things are just peachy in the economy. J-Pal probably. Copy paste. I'm a traveling nurse. Get that travel on. I'm in Florida. It wasn't me. Winning the lotto. Yeah. My long lost father won the lotto. Western Florida here. No joy. Michael Harrow, Houston. Would you consider giving away a Blue Sky account to one of the flat earthers from Twitter so you can continue proving them wrong? I wonder if there's I'll have to look for a flat earth contingent on Blue Sky just to get in fights with them online. Yeah. Shadow Fire, how do I change my YouTube name without losing my subs and everything? I don't know. I've never bothered doing that. Terry Haugen, Houston. Check out Ticket Mira, 1 million float. Two funds own 1.2 million. Was 1.4 million float. Two owns 1.2 million. NASDAQ told company 90% of volume is naked shorts out of Canada. They were short the whole time. Float in 4 days. WTF. Mira. 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 Stock. It's at $9. There's no graph. I have no graph there, Terry. So, boom. No graph. 6 months. Year. Date. I got 5 years. IDR. This is Indonesian. I have no Mira. Mira Pharmaceuticals? Maybe these guys? Ah, here's a different Mira. All right, here we go. Where's it sitting? $6-7? What's it look like for the last year? Yeah, does that. 5 year? Nothing. THC analog drug, Mira 1A, the Stock Day podcast. That's 12 hours ago. AI stock, new. Mira Pharmaceuticals debuts on the NASDAQ with plans to revolutionize medicinal CBD and THC 6 days ago. They're pot stock. I don't know. I've always avoided the pot stocks because they all seem to get shafted one way or the other. But I guess there's more to read about them. I'll check it out. Ted Bingham, thoughts on Ohio vote that failed to make 60% required for a bill to pass in that state? How does that impact democracy versus 50% majority pass? Makes democracy a lot harder and allows a gerrymandered house to have a lot of power if you have gerrymandering as your basis for control of the state. So it shouldn't pass. It'd be a terrible thing to pass. I think you just majority rule and stuff, and just go from there. Yeah. Yeah, it's an anti-democratic process to require supermajorities for everything. Just make it 50% plus one, and deal with it as it comes. Anna, is it possible to cancel a reverse stock split for AMC? I might have to come to a vote because it had to be voted in. Peach Sunday, Houston, if the earth is not flat, then why, when I put my bowling ball down, it would be perpetually sliding down along the curve? Because not, duh. Pacific Northwest Texans, sharks are older than trees. My mind is blown. Yep. Crocodiles, too. Alligators, caimans, the whole group. My balls only rolled in Mercury's in retrograde. Jose Rosario. I saw an article yesterday that a few LK99 tests failed. A few failed, yes, and there's 6 published so far in review that succeeded. I think a lot of the failures may be because they didn't synthesize it correctly. Yeah, so it's going to come down to I think your ability to synthesize it correctly. The Koreans who wrote the original paper, they've given their samples for peer review, so there's other scientists testing them right now, which is a step towards recreation. Ted Bingham. Social media seems exceptionally bifurcated now. Reddit strikes, X mess, rest in peace Twitter, threads dying out. Facebook hacks are a big problem. Algos seem to thrive on political dissent, which in my opinion is less. In Congress acting quicker now because Divvy stock announced and they need some other can to kick quickly. How do you possibly think they would do anything but sabotage? I don't know. Oh, is Congress acting? Oh, it's not. It's not continued thought. I thought that was all one thought in those 2 posts. But yeah, political dissent and the bifurcation of the electorate is stronger now than it's ever been. What's crazy, Iggy sent me a video from a Trump rally where this guy's just asking him questions about basically economic malaise, oligarchy, monopolies, and these Trump voters are basically spouting socialist ideals. Like, we need to break these companies up. We need to regulate them more. My real wages are down. My job, I'm only getting paid $13 an hour by this big multi-billion-dollar national corporation. And they're espousing socialist ideals. And it's strange to me that they're going to a billionaire as the person who's going to solve that, when that billionaire has a history of not paying his debts, not paying his employees well, being anti-union, things like that. It's really phenomenal to me that they can realize that these billionaires are the problem, that their real-time wages are down, inflation's up, they need to break these companies up, and then they're backing a candidate who's part of that group. Like, it's a tree voting for an axe because the handle was made of wood, that type of thing. It fascinates me that they can be so attuned to what the problems are, and then their solution is to vote for somebody who benefited from those problems and is a part of it. It's weird to me. Fiona's AMC, what did you think about AA throwing shade about the failures to deliver? Wish there was a way to Freedom of Information Act request was communication with FINRA and the New York Stock Exchange said. I would like to see something come out of Rose's attempts at lawsuits that would require these self-regulatory agencies to have power bestowed upon them by Congress, like FINRA, to have to obey Freedom of Information Act requests. If they're acting like a government agency, then their communication should be treated like a government agency. And you should be able to write them, put in a request, and then have to respond to it. Or I'm like, we're not actually a government agency, we're a private company. Well, then when you want to sue them, they go, we're a government agency, you can't sue us. So it's having the best of both worlds without the drawbacks of either. Copy and paste breaking. Ecuadorian presidential candidate Fernando Villavicencio has been assassinated during a campaign rally. Oh, crazy. So if you guys don't know, the current president of Ecuador, his banks help fund the drug cartels, and the people of Ecuador have been trying to get him out. And the cartels don't want the cartels. The cartels had not had a lot of power in Ecuador until this presidency, and now they have a lot of power in Ecuador. My friend Ricardo is from there. His brother took out a bank loan to start a business. And turns out the cartel controlled the bank and are now extorting him and the entire family. And he didn't know the cartel owned the bank when he borrowed money from the bank. That was just a normal bank. And now they're paying like 50% interest or else the family dies type thing. Absolute craziness. And so he came here to the U.S. to make more money to send back his remittances so that his family doesn't die at the hands of the cartel. And it's all because of this president they currently have, he is a lackey of the cartels. And so yeah, anybody who comes along who's like, hey, we should get this cartel douchebag out of here, the cartels are going to take care of, because that's what cartels do. So now it's crazy. So Ecuador. Kind of Villavicencio, I can't say that. Villavicencio. 45 minutes ago. Says the crime will not go unpunished, says the president who benefited from the assassination. He'd been polling 7.5%, so he wasn't even polling that high. Social media purportedly from the campaign event showed people taking cover and screaming as gunfire rang out. The killing comes amid a startling wave of violence in the South American nation with drug trafficking and killings on the rise. Yeah, Ecuador was incredibly stable for a South American democracy for a long time. In COVID, and this president really threw it all in for a loop. What you doing, monkey? Yeah, just nuts. The world is nuts, people. That's where we are. That guy just got assassinated. All right, I'm an hour behind the chat. I'm 2 hours in. Jose Rosario, is there a way to artificially cool the oceans? No. So because every action has an equal and opposite reaction, like your refrigerator in your house, your refrigerator is basically taking an air, removing the heat from that air, and dumping that cold air into the refrigerator while pumping out heat. Your air conditioner does the same thing. The air conditioner takes in air, removes the heat from the air, dumps the cold stuff on you, sends the hot air on the outside. So if you add the two temperatures together, the cold air generated by the refrigerator or the air conditioner, and the hot air that's expelled as exhaust, it equals the same temperature as the air has been all along. So if you're going to cool anything, you're going to make something else hot. So there's no way to artificially cool it without removing the amount of energy it receives or making something else hotter along the way. So no, not that I know of. Can't just throw a big ice. Well, I mean, we could, I guess, throw a comet in there, but then the explosion from that would be so hot it'd wipe out everything. Gently lower a comet into the ocean? I don't know. Now, there's a group with Bill Gates that want to put these sulfides into the air and to block out the sun. And all that's going to do is create acid rain. So that's a dumb idea. Yeah, I mean, the solution we have to do is we've got to suck CO2 out of the air and remove the amount of greenhouse gases so that the heat can radiate away. That's going to be the only solution we have. Okay, I'll scroll down to the very bottom. I'll do like one more good question, and then that'll be it for the day. Sorry I didn't get to everybody's. I cannot. I can try. But if you want me to read your chats, by all means, send a super chat. I greatly appreciate it, and help pay for the twisty bar things I have to get. Daniel Plainview, Houston, happy not born day. My friend gonna be in Seattle my friend period gonna be in Seattle in a few weeks visiting family. What's your favorite sushi spot? Also, what are the chances that Orange Man goes to jail? The chances are increasingly higher and higher and higher that he might get remanded at some point for violating court orders during the pretrial phase, which would be hilarious, honestly. I would think it's the funniest thing in the entire world. Favorite sushi spot? I'm not too hip onto what sushi restaurants are in Seattle. I like Nijo's, especially Tuesday happy hour at Nijo's is like one of the most reasonable happy hours you'll get in Seattle. They're right near the ferry. Cute little location. Got kind of nice outdoor seating area along Post Alley. The prices are always reasonable during happy hour, and they got like happy hour all day on Tuesdays. It's really good. They make it's like a deep fried California roll, or I should say tempura fried California roll, that is one of the tastiest things I've ever had in my entire life. When the cream cheese inside gets hot, holy shit, it's delicious. They also have Bainbridge rolls, named after Bainbridge Island, where I live. They're really good. Their crunchy rolls are good. And then you can go for all the traditional nigiri, whatever. It's all delicious. There are some really expensive sushi places that I've not been to that are supposed to be out of this world, but they're so expensive. They're the places that have the licensed chefs who are allowed to serve fugu, puffer fish. But I've not. Maybe Moas. Well, I will go and I'll drop $200 on a sushi meal. But until then, I'm Basement Sushi, baby. And Nijo's is really nice for how cheap it is. So, check that one out. You're going to be downtown anyway doing tour stuff, so you might as well stop by there. Okay. Aaron Sounding Houston, when will we get Ham Short Killer on the show? Tell us all about finger motion. I have no way of contacting him now that I've done Twitter. We should have him on, and he can finger us all day long. Okay. My 2 hours are done. I might do a Twitch tonight. See, I'm going to go... My mom wants to put together a puzzle, so I'm going to go over her house right now, and we're going to go put together a puzzle. But other than that, I'll see you guys Friday. So everyone take care. Have fun. Peace. Everyone in Maui. Hope you get shelter, and you're doing all right. We're all thinking of you. So everyone have a good day. Bye-bye. Again, read it. It might take you 5 years to get through it like it did for me. But my God, is it one of the most impressive pieces of nonfiction ever. Just do it.